For the fans, by the fans. Welcome to the only Angels postgame show that keeps it real, win or lose. No filters, no fluff, just raw reactions right after the final out. The Golden Stamos is polished up and somebody's about to take it home. A clutch hit, a game-saving grab, or just straight up hustle. We see you. But if you played like trash, you're getting the dreaded Nacho Night Award. We saw the missed calls, we saw the blown saves, the clutch moments, and the disasters too. Your comments are front and center, and yeah, we read all of them. Wanna let loose? Call in and sound off live. No scripts, no suits, no spin. This is raw, this is real, this is where the fans take over. This is the Heady Postgame Show with Todd Fox. For the fans, by the fans.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, welcome in everybody to a Saturday, unfortunately not a victory Saturday for your Halos. It's the Halos in the Infield postgame show. I am your host, Todd Fox, getting you through a loss on the second day of the second half of the season. Game number 68, or game number 98. We have 64 of these left to go, and the Angels didn't help themselves postseason-wise as they drop one to the Phillies, a true buttercup game. And what I mean by buttercup is the bullpen blew it, man. This is an easy buttercup loss as the Angels took one on the chin and lose in Philadelphia. And again, for a team that had this one and had the game in the lead, 4-2 is not exactly a blowout status, but you still got to try to hold it. But when it comes down to it, you know, when you have bullpen pieces like Fermin, who literally should still be in the minors, and other guys, again, guys have fantastic stuff, but they're going to take their lumps. And Sam Bachman, although drafted 3 or 4 seasons ago, he's still getting his feet wet because of all the injuries. So you're going to have your ups and downs with these guys, and the offense has got to carry the load. And offensively, the team hasn't been consistent enough to do that with any kind of pitching. And when you walk a lot of guys like they did today, and we'll talk about that moving on, that's also going to kill you. So with that being said, thank you for joining us here today for the postgame show. I am your host once again, Todd Fox. This is the Halos in the Infield postgame show because we are by the fans, for the fans, for the fans, by the fans. We're in the stands with you. So every home game, I've got season tickets. A lot of the other people on this show do, and they go, and we're there with you, joining in, high-fiving at the stadium. So again, this is a tough one when, as fans, this is a place where you can get your voice heard and your opinions out there, as we're going to be reading comments not only on TikTok, but on YouTube and other places such as X too. So I encourage you, if you want your comment read, put it in the chat box and we will read it. Just like Crate says, Bachman, he's blaming Bachman. And how many years are we going to keep saying we need pitching? Forever. Because again, unless these guys turn into a bunch of Jared Weavers through the draft, I don't know if we're ever going to go out there and get a true number one free agent. Like if a Garrett Cole were to pop up on free agency, until Artie's gone, I really don't see the Angels saying, hey man, let's throw $218 million at that guy and see if we can get him. It's just not what the Angels do. They don't value starting pitching, and this is what you get. So the Angels fall to 48-50. Philadelphia goes to 56-42. The Phillies win 9-5. 9 runs, 9 hits, 5 runs, 12 hits for the Angels. The disparity right there comes down to runners in scoring position. Angels left 6 men on base, went 2 for 7 total. The Phillies didn't do too much better, but when they did and they needed the big hits, they got it. They went 3 for 11, including the grand slam was the biggest one that they got. They still left 7 men on base. The pitching, again, if only we didn't do a bullpen game to start the second half. Oh, wait, we did. And so you already taxed your bullpen, something they bitch and moan and complain about on the radio on FanDuel. It's always about, we're using the bullpen too much, blah, 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 yakety schmackety, blah. But then you wind up using 4 more pitchers tonight. Bachman won't be available tomorrow. Neither will be Fermin, even though they only threw 20 pitches or less. Both of them got taxed. Kikuchi had 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, but the team itself walked 7, and it hurt. Scoring plays were Castellanos singling to left, scoring Harper to make it 1-0. Taylor Ward hits his second home run out of the All-Star break. Adele hits his second home run out of the All-Star break to make it 2-1, as both those guys would hit home runs back-to-back in the fourth inning. Then Neto was single after Moncada got on base with Renifo and Wade Jr. to make it 3-1. The Angels could have blown it open in the fourth, but couldn't get that last hit. So it was 3-1. Then Turner came through to make it 3-2. Moncada then homer to make it 4-2. And in the sixth inning, you're thinking, okay, we only need about like 9 or 12 outs to go. We're hoping they could get it going, but the sixth inning was where they did most of their damage, and it was Rojas hitting that sacrifice single with the bases loaded, make it 4-3. A walk and a pitching change later would load them up for Kyle Schwarber, and Schwarber went deep with a grand slam to make it 7-4. Taylor Ward would double the left and score Shonawell to make it 7-5, but that's as close as the Angels got because Harper came through with his third home run of the series to make it 9-5. And that was it. That was all she wrote, 9-5 right there. For the lineup, disappointments tonight. Mike Trout 1 for 4, but 3 more strikeouts. Again, we need this guy not to be striking out as much, and so far he struck out 6 times in these first 2 games out the gate. Zach Neto offered 2 more strikeouts. I felt that what hurt the Angels was Shonawell and Trout not contributing tonight. Shonawell just with the 1 hit, but he scored. Mike Trout with just the 1 hit, but if he gets on a couple more times, it makes it interesting. And they got absolutely nothing out of Travis d'Arnaud, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and a costly double play, which killed an inning rally. So you had all that to deal with tonight. So tough loss. They take one on the chin after yesterday's uplifting game. They lose tonight. And again, they didn't gain any ground last night with a victory, and they're probably going to lose some ground here tonight. Missy says the Angels are Artie's tax write-off. He doesn't care. Trout is clutch, is not clutch ever. And that is a problem that we've had for forever too, as being Angel fans. I don't know if it's a tax write-off, but it sure made him a lot of money. And if he were to cash out again like we want him to, that he's a multimillionaire, obviously. I think he's close to about $1.5 billion in total revenue. But if he were to sell the Angels, he obviously would make $3 billion more, at least 3.5. With that being said, real quick, I gotta give you guys the Buttercup slide, because again, Angels, when they have a lead and blow it, well, it deserves a Buttercup.
Dear little Buttercup, won't you stay out? When? You and I will settle down in a cottage built for 2. Dear little Buttercup, sweet little Buttercup, my little Buttercup, I love you.
So the Angels get Buttercupped, and Missy says, why won't he sell the team? Because he has an ego bigger than the Anaheim downtown vibe, because he wants to prove that he's a winner, not a loser. Although we already know he's a loser, he's very good at marketing, and that's how he's made all his millions upon millions of dollars. But when it comes to actually putting a winner on the team or on the field and winning a World Series, if you dial back the marketing and spend that more on the players, and that's it. But guys like CJ Wilson, who never really lived up to his contract, Albert Pujols, and all this other stuff, and him wanting to be the number one head honcho, I want this guy, like fantasy football type owner. You're never going to win like that. If you put smart people in play, you give them the blank check and say, sign this guy, I want to win a division title, I guarantee you most GMs can make that happen. But if you're always in the way, if you're always trying to be the end-all be-all and think you're smarter than the people that you hired at the job that they went to school for, well, you're going to be Artie Moreno. And that's what Artie Moreno is. If this team wins it all, if they get to the division championship, or if they get to the playoffs at all, it's because of sheer talent, and they did it despite the ownership. It's never going to be one of those where I could sit back with an honest face without laughing in your face. If you ask me the question, how did the Angels get to the postseason? Is it because of Artie? And I can't lie to you and look you straight in the eye and say, it was Artie Moreno. No, it's never any part of Artie Moreno. Artie Moreno is the biggest dickhead out there. There's been some bad owners, and obviously the Clippers had a bad owner. You've had a few other owners that are terrible. And a lot of people say, well, I think Artie Moreno reminds me of Jerry Jones. It's like, correction. At least Jerry Jones, although wants to be the GM, the owner, and all this other stuff, and wear all the hats in Big D, one thing you can say about the Dallas Cowboys is the Dallas Cowboys at least make the playoffs. Now, they choke when they get there, but at least they make the playoffs. And correct me if I'm wrong, in the last 20 years, despite them not going to a Super Bowl, they have won division championships. Can't say that about Artie Moreno's Angels. Can't say that at all. So he may be able to get them there. He's also built a beautiful stadium there. So I have to put – I can't put Artie Moreno with, a Jimmy Johnson. I just can't. But getting back to the game today, they lost, and they lost because the bullpen. They lost not because of hitting, because, again, when this team scores 4 or more, they are 36 now and 16. They were 36 and 15, but they scored enough runs to win tonight. The problem was they couldn't maintain it and hold it down. And again, I'm going to say this again. If you have a lot of young players in the lineup, or in the bullpen, and you're having to rely on guys that you're just pushing through the damn minors, like look at Jose Fermin. He was an international signing last year, and he's already in the majors. You had to put Jim Johnson in, or whatever his name is, Johnson, as a reliever with you drafted him last year with no experience. So when you don't have that kind of farm system that can, let guys marinate, find themselves, because we got a lot of starters. If you look in the Angels bullpen or starting rotation in AA, AAA, and even single A, there's a lot of decent arms that in most organizations you're looking at them like, okay, cool. They got another 2 years to go and they should be here. They should find themselves. They should find those out pitches. They should be able to pinpoint their accuracy, right? However, in the Angels organization, it's like, well, that guy's just barely starting to come around. Bring him up. And, they don't have the time to let them sit down there because they've never stacked the offense or the bullpen or the starting rotation with enough guys to give these young kids enough time and get their confidence up to then bring them up, because a lot of these guys, they're just throwing them into the fire. So a guy like Neto, a guy like Shonowell, and other guys like that have come up here on very short notice, and even now Christian Moore, I tip my cap to them because they're going from 0 to 60. And the fact that they're keeping it together, a lot of people don't understand. They haven't played the game like that shitty other podcast that relies on StatCast and nerd shit. They never played baseball. They never played even any kind of organized baseball. So I have, and a lot of us on Heedy Network have. Fernando played a little bit minor league ball. Rob played college ball. I think even Dom did. A lot of us had played in I played minor league. So a lot of it's mental. A lot of it is you have to have the fortitude to then get through the struggles of playing baseball. So not only it's learning everything, playing every day, the regimen to stay healthy and all that stuff to keep yourself in shape, you also have to be mentally focused for when the good days are there and when the bad days are there. And you got to not get so high and you can't get so low. You got to keep even. That's why I appreciated when Socha was the manager of this team, because he would always say, never get too high after a win, never get too low after a loss. Always pick your head up, turn the page. You got the stuff, keep it going. You're never going to have a perfect week. You're never going to have a perfect month. You're never going to have a perfect game. Baseball is a game of failure. It's who can fail the least or is the best at it. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what you're going to have to face and realize with a young team like this and with the bullpen arms that they got. It's going to take a long time for some of these guys to get right and see, like Mickey says, Bachman and Fermin, broken heart, right? You could be saying that right now, but in 2 months, by the end of the season, they could be nails because they find their way, and because again, these guys shouldn't be up here right now. They really shouldn't, but there's such a need for pitching. It's like, when we don't have a fifth starter, you saw how the Angels panicked and went to a bullpen game yesterday. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So there you go. There you have it right there. The Angels losing 9-5. I was out there watching and listening to the game. I was painting the deck, so I got paint all over my hands. Putting that new, what is it called? The weather paint or whatever it's called out there, the 2-in-1. So I was doing that on a Saturday, drinking Modelo, enjoying stuff. And then, so today's show is going to be just about at 45 minutes because I got to get out there and grill. So I'm doing double, triple duty. So I hope everybody appreciates that, and we appreciate you. So I just wish I could have came on here. I would do 4 things if I could, if the Angels would win. because think of it, you had a lead in this game. You would have wanted to win this game. You could have won the series tonight and then go for the jugular tomorrow. Now it's like, okay, we got to still try to win the series tomorrow. And I really thought facing Taijuan Walker coming into this game that the Angels had an overwhelming advantage if Kikuchi could keep the ball down and not walk anybody. So my only thing I was worried about going into today's game as far as Kikuchi was walking guys, and I was worried about Harper and Trey Turner. Other than that, I felt he could get through the rest of the lineup pretty easily, but that didn't come to pass today. So we just have to turn the page and try to get a W tomorrow before we play the Mets. And then right now it looks like Texas is going to beat Detroit. So they're going to stay ahead of us. And then I'm hoping Houston can man up and beat Seattle. And I hate rooting for Houston, but we need them to beat Seattle here. Missy says Perry Manasseh needs to go ahead and pull the trigger. Or no outfielder, starting pitcher, or actual bullpen. Problem is, Missy, we need a lot, and we don't have enough capital. So they're going to have to do what they can, but it's not going to be much. And it's going to have to look like free agency. They're going to have to get guys in free agency. They don't have enough capital to trade. So if you're looking for all these trades to be happening at the deadline, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I don't think it's going to happen. And it would be foolish to get rid of any of the young core. We have a young core that's set for years to come. That's very controllable. And I think we hold on to every last one of those guys. I mean, there's 5 pieces I mentioned yesterday that they can move that are veterans. A lot of people aren't going to like it because they are key figures to this team. And we're going to have to see if they do trade those pitchers, we're going to have to see maybe a Clausen up here early, and he's not ready. Caden Dana, and he's not ready. Aldegari, he's not ready. They have good stuff, but they are not pinpointing their pitches, and they are going to get lit up at times. And we're going to have to just get the good with the bad. So when they have these bad games, we can't say, man, they suck. Man, they're overrated. Man, we should trade him. Man, we should DFA him. No, you just got to keep running out there with them. You really do, because if you're not going to leave them in the minor leagues to then work on their pitches before they get up here and fail, you're going to have to deal with the lumps that they're going to give us. And they're going to give us twice as many lumps as they do wins. So be prepared. Be prepared. If we move those vets, we're going to get some rooks up here, and nobody's going to like it. But we're going to have to deal with it. And Fermin's going to be here for the long run. So all these pitchers that you want to just say, hey, cut them, DFA them, send them down. Who are we going to pull up? Tell me, who are they going to pull up? Because I've looked through their rosters and nobody's ready yet. So it's going to be, hold on, see what you can get this year, get to 500. That's still a win. Even if we don't make the playoffs, losing 99 games last year and getting to 500 this year is a huge win. So if you can do that and get to 500, despite having not that much experience at the major league level, you look to next year, and the Angels, depending on what they do in the off season as far as free agents, that's where you got to load up. You know, if Artie wants to get back to the postseason, I think we've got enough, experience with a young core offensively. But man, in the offseason, you got to spend on some bullpen arms, and you got to spend on some starting pitching. You have to, because again, Caden Dana will not be ready next year either. I still think he needs to really find his way down here, and we can't be pulling this bullshit where it's like, oh, a reliever's injured, or we threw bullpen games. Let's call up Aldegari and throw him 1 inning or 2 innings and send him back down. These guys aren't relievers; they're starters, and if you want them to get better as a starter, leave them as a goddamn starter in the minors and bring them up as a goddamn starter once you do promote them. Missy says, I'm trying to get this team help. Also, Jacob says, too many bullpen blown games and 1-run losses. A lot of 3 runs or less is why we lose a lot of these games. Getting over here, Mateo's like, I got to break the silence. It's Spritz o'clock, baby. Win or lose.
Yeah! I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying? Like better than losing.
Spritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock.
fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, we didn't win, but we did score 5 runs. So 21 gun salute. I think we have to score 5 Deos. There's your Deos for the day. Can we get Missy to stop spamming the comment button? Oh, jeez. Let's get back here to the comments on this side as I'll be going back and forth here. Carson Fulmer is a bum, Tamir20 says. Also, Mateo says, balls, and oh no, we suck again.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and oh no, we suck again.
Yeah, all know we suck again. Josh says bullpen had a competition for who could be the most ass. Well, we found out who was the most ass tonight. Josh says we need to lock up Adell. He hit a home run on a ball that was in the dirt. The sky is the limit. And I will tell you right now, Josh, I'm more impressed with him. If you saw last night's home run where he hit it ankle height, and you're right, he went even lower today. So he's locked in. He's catching shit that he's not been catching his entire career. So I will give Josh's, and I hate saying this because it's a new saying, and I hate saying when they say, hey, we need to give this guy his flowers. So I'm not going to say give him his flowers. I'm going to say give him his props. Josh has been calling it all year, even when the season started in April when he came on here. He was saying Adell's primed for a big breakout. And you know what, dude is locked in, and he was right. And Aiden was saying, and y'all were saying DFA Adell. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of us that did. A lot of us had, and a lot of people forget that this dude was drafted out of high school. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't want the Angels to fall in love with a lot of high school guys. I want to see more guys like Christian Moore coming out of a well-established SEC college. But again, it just took him a little bit longer, and you can see now how good freaking Adell is. Missy's like, I want Artie Moreno gone. MGB says, bro, much love from your friend Big A Usher. What's up, MGA? Also, Brandon said, what's up, bro? How you guys doing on a Saturday? I wish I could be happier for you guys with the Angels winning, but not so much. Matt says, balls, and walking the bottom of the lineup. And that will always kill you. Not only leadoff walks, but walking the end of the order right there. So I'll give Grillmaster props on that one too. Dan says this was a big-time buttercup. Mario says Gooby gave a knock. Angels in the outfield. Or Angels. He did? He gave a knock in the Angels in the infield? That's I wish he knew what he was talking about, because I guarantee he did it on an accident. Brandon says, damn tough loss tonight. It sure was. Walks and bad managing did kill us. Grillmaster says, I would have said put Zephyr John there, but we all know expected him to blow it. Why not Burke if you had Schwarber and Harper there? Again, 2 lefties that you could have used and you decided not to in situations. And Kyle Schwarber, again, as much as hate that he gets, he's still a guy who hits a lot of home runs, and we just played into their strengths. Andrew says, this shit is Bachman's fault. He had the bottom of the lineup and he couldn't deliver. Fucking frustrating. Again, Andrew, we're going to be seeing a lot of this the rest of the way. Some nights where you're going to look at Bachman and say, damn, that's the guy that we drafted. That guy's really good. And then there's going to be nights where you're going to be like, oh my God, he's terrible. He didn't even get anybody out. And tonight's one of them. The way this game started, it could have been the Halos winning 9-5, left a bunch of clutch moments out there. Q Lombardi. Yeah, they did. They had opportunities to blow this game wide open. Instead, they gave us
emotional damage.
What the hell's going on out here?
Yeah, exactly. Mateo said, did you hear about the new Viagra? No, I didn't. Let's see if Gavin can tell us.
Crazy. Hello, Halo Nation. Hello, Halo hopefuls, and welcome back. What's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson. Don't get it twisted. You've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis.
We have, but we don't need it.
It's hard.
Calm down.
Calm down. It feels great. Oh, yummy. Oh,
okay, no demonstration.
Yummy. Oh, come on. Magic. Oh, my goodness. Guys, tasting nut.
Okay, that guy's interesting. Jaron says we're very close, but need to sell this year and be ready to spend in the offseason. That's what we said earlier, Jaron. Good take. At least we are beating the Yankees. Brandon says, would our record be different with Ron still with us? I'm not sure. I don't think so, because I don't think Ron was the same manager because his heart issues. Also, Gerard says, blow pen. Fuck. Oh, well, let's get the series tomorrow. That's how you got to look at it. Mateo says, did you hear about the new Viagra that's coming out? It's called Myaxoflone. No. Josh says, why is Chris Cortez in high A? He's an elite relief prospect because he's still got a lot of these guys are elite, but they don't have the right pinpoint action yet. And it takes a while for them to get there. And they want them to consistently hit their spots. And if they're not hitting their spots that the catcher or the manager is calling, they're not going to get called up, or they're going to have to spend more time down there if they can afford to. Strange 26 says, now I know why they drafted 7 pitchers in the first 10 rounds. An absolute ass of a show today. They might as well be D's nuts. Well, I mean, again, that's what you have when you don't have much in the minor league system.
These nuts. Got him. Got him.
Balls, and runners in scoring position. Robert says we don't change pitchers to win. We change pitchers to get them experience. Fuck my life. Q Lombardi. Yeah, exactly. We're not exactly playing the game the way it's supposed to be.
What the hell's going on out here?
Tony C says Lamont Wade Jr., his favorite player, needs to go. We are allergic to the 500 mark. The Angels blow pen was horrible. I feel so bad for Kikuchi. Let's win the series tomorrow. Angels need some new arms for the rotation. Man, oh man, it would have been nice to go 500 today. Mario says after the Phillies had the first inning shit base running double play, I thought we might actually take this game. Oh no, what happened? That's what his reaction was.
Oh no, what happened? Oh no, how terrible! That's just awful. How terrible! Oh no.
Mateo says, I didn't watch too much of the game. I was doing some yard work in the back of my yard. I hope so. I was doing the deck work. So Baldwin says, is Moncada okay? Yeah, he is. He just can't hit from the right side because they're lying about his oblique. I know for a damn fact, having had it myself, that's a freaking oblique, and he can't swing from his right side. He can power swing from his left, but he can't do it from his right side. It has nothing to do with his thumb, but let's just pretend like we know we're talking about Angels brass. Mateo says, cue the circus music. Yeah, there you go. That's our lead-in song. Also, Grillmaster says, me love you long time. He's taking Dan's.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny, and me love you long time.
Demetrio says it's a boxing night for me. Go Angels. Josh says Trout should be trying to swing at pitches right down the middle, which is mind-boggling. You know, if I was up there, and I'm throwing to Mike Trout, which I would love to, but if I were to and had that opportunity, I would think don't throw anything over the plate. He's going to crush it, hit it a country mile. Instead, it's like, throw it down and away, down and in, up high, and he just goes crazy on it. You throw one right down the middle and nope. Grillmaster says d'Arnaud had a horrible night, got a whole Hoppy syndrome. And, I didn't even do that. The player of the game, I'm not going to play the slides since it's a shorter show. The player of the game is going to be Kyle Schwarber tonight. Obviously, the Grand Slam was the thing that put the Phillies over the top tonight. And as far as the Nacho Night Award, it's going to go to d'Arnaud because, I would give it to Trout with the 3 strikeouts, but 2 strikeouts for Travis d'Arnaud pretty much killed a lot of rallies, including that double play when the Angels got a lead off, I believe, a Walker single. Patrick Creel says time for the Angels to trade their tradable assets. I agree. Mario also says, I think the Angels is Trout having too much sex because we're not close. Or he's close to home. He's having too much sex. Q Lombardi. And that goes off. If you don't understand where that one comes from, that's my dad's awesome take at saying, boy, Mike Trout hasn't been the same since he's getting married. Why is that, Dad? And he goes, he's having too much sex. I'm like, getting married doesn't mean you're having too much sex. It usually means the opposite. But my dad's thinking 1960s, 1970s. Maybe that's when you have too much sex. I don't know. Thank you for the super sticker, Mateo. You're right. He is fat no matter what.
This fat son of a bitch is going to drown us all out.
Just gonna calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat.
Jesus says typical Buttercup, traditional. Also, it's running up his butt right now. He wants to play that, of course. Man, he asks for that every time. Where is that?
Let me tell you something about my guy, John Stamos. So I was able to go in the back bedroom and unscrew the old
Balls and running up my butt right now.
You get out of it what you put into it. John Stamos
Choked on me.
He was so great.
Also, Josh says the Angels should invest in a pitch simulator and make Mike Trout do it all day long. I would go for that too. He doesn't really take the kind of batting practice that most Angel players do. Corey says Angels need to take the W tomorrow morning. Mario says Jerry Jones might suck, but he puts his money where his mouth is. I'd rather have him than Moreno at this point. I agree. At this point, Eric says either make a meaningful trade to impact the team and get us over the hump or sell. This is a pipe dream. They can't even get to 500, which should tell you something. I agree. Balls, and can't get over 500. No updates on Taylor other than he's raking in the minors. Moore has yet to take a swing. Eric says they're gaining no ground the way things are going lately. It's like being stuck in neutral. Fuck it, do something. Mateo says Taylor should be back by next week. Saucy says, I guess leading the league in walks is bad. Exactly. Josh says, I would beef up Shonwell. He's 6'2" with a great eye and bat to ball skills. He could be Joey Votto. I wouldn't mind it, but damn, he's slow around the bases, dude. But yeah, beefing him up a bit would help. Eric says, and why the fuck do we keep playing scrubs like Newman and Wade? They offer nothing, and they're just wasting valuable games. I would take a chance on other guys in the organization. I think these guys are way over the hill, so I agree with you, Eric. Saucy says they had a shit game, but they don't capitalize on Philly mistakes. This team needs a little bit more depth. Back at it tomorrow. The Archangel says, you know what? I love baby oil, and I played Little League Baseball. Saucy says all those solo shots are a tad annoying. Lots of homers and losses. Yeah, you need to get guys on. You need to get them over, and then you need to get them in. I love base hits. I love station to station. I love first to third. I love doubles, scoring 3 runs. Homers are nice too, man, but they are rally killers if you think about it. Mario says they lost this game, in my opinion, with having a bullpen game yesterday. I agree. Mario says, I appreciate your time, Todd. I'm enjoying a smoked tri-tip. I've been cooking during the game. Oh, my goodness. See, we're making tacos, man. We're going to have, what is it? I got to get out of here in 15 minutes. So we're going to be doing pastor. We're going to be doing some chicken and some, we already marinated the meat and some asada. So I have some other family over right now. So I told them, can I come out here and do the post game? They're like, yeah, go for it, man. So I was like, cool. So I'm out here doing this right now, and then I'm going to jump in there and get on the grill. Tyler says, honestly, want to know what the heck Enright told Fermin before he threw the cookie in the zone to Schwarber, Q freaking Lombardi. He probably told him, hey, don't throw that cookie to Schwarber.
What the hell's going on out here?
And Fermin's like, see. Mario says, where was the General Ohapi today? Didn't use him. We out hit them and put a homer on them, yet we lost. All of the walks scored. And that's what it comes down to. Some teams can actually cash in other teams' mistakes. The Angels have a very hard time at doing that. Also says, okay, can someone please tell me why the fuck Lamont Wade Jr. is on the roster? I can't. I really can't, and I apologize. Saucy says, perhaps this team isn't that far away as first thought, but shit like Newman and Lamont Wade Jr. won't get it done. I echo that, dude. I echo that. I rather see Kai Baum and other players in the minors get called up than these rejects. Mateo says, if we have a 500 record at the end of the year, I'm considering that as a losing season and not a positive. Now, I disagree. I consider that a win. Mario says Angels are 23 wins away from my preseason prediction. See, there you go. Alfonso said over 500 has got to be a myth. I've heard that this team does exist, but can the Angels get there? Vote for Bond says sell everything. Mario says so much for winning if the Halos score 4 or more runs.
What the hell's going on out here?
Yep. Also, vote for Bond says fucking walks ruin my good coochie. This team is frustrating. Grillmaster say he's ruining it, man. Ruining it. Where is that one right now? It's
My lips, you're ruining it. Ruining.
Grillmaster also checks in with he's fat.
This fat son of a bitch is gonna drown us all out.
Just gonna calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat.
Angel's grandma says Josh and I believed from the beginning it's the Joe show. She did, and I forgot to mention her too, because Angel's grandma was also talking about him last year. I think Josh came to the show this year or in the off season, but Angel's grandma was here too last year. So both of them have been saying look out for Joe Adele. So they were absolutely right. So I'm definitely going to give them their props. Mario says if Grildo had his way, everyone would be DFA'd and we wouldn't have a team. I agree with that too. There's only a limit to how many guys you can DFA. Saucy says at the 66ers game tonight, hopefully they can get a win. Curious to see how their draft picks will do. Mario loves the he's fat thing.
This fat son of a bitch is gonna drown us all out.
Just gonna calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat.
Dead says to throw high cheese to Schwarber right there takes balls, nerves, and about a fifth of tequila. Cue bold strategy cotton. Dude, it does actually. And do I have bold strategy cotton on here? No, I think I don't, but it's here with a yummy tasting nut.
On everybody, my name is Gavin Carlson, former credential journalist in the LA area. How about a yummy tasting nut?
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Tony C, it didn't pay off. Tony C says, share, smash the like button. Yes, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now, please. Also, I got something to give away if you guys can come on tomorrow morning or tomorrow after the game. Do you want to pick Diamond Club seats? It's 714 week, and they gave me tickets to the Angels. So if you're on tomorrow, I have tickets. Where is it? I'm looking on my thing right here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So you could pick out of Angels Mariners 726 Sunday game, Angels Rangers 7:30, the White Sox 8-3, White Sox 8-4, Angels Athletics 9-7, or Thursday Angels Royals at the end of the year. Basically, I've got some Diamond Club tickets that will be sent to anyone I want. And which means I got to come up with some sort of like trivia tomorrow. So if you want to play trivia and you can make a game, you can pick one set of tickets for the what do you call it? The Diamond Club. And you can be in there. And if you win, you get those tickets free of charge. No, what do you call it? I just have them send them from 714 Tickets. Ron Holt is appreciating what we're doing. We're getting a lot of tickets of other games too. So we're going to be giving away tickets for other games as well. So yes, please keep that in mind because I would love to give some Diamond Club tickets away to some of the other fans. Let's see. Paisa says Christ and more coming up. Christian and more are coming back when we get rid of both Newman and Wade. I'm not surprised we lost the Angels losing this series. Big Red says. Also, Josh says Angels grandma should replace our scouts. This team gives me the yips. Big Red also says Angels are so entertaining. I'm watching a Game of Thrones 10th for the 10th time a episode. Jeffrey says we came up short, just like everyone next to the dong in the showers. Maybe it's Marsha. Also, thank you for playing the favorite soundbite. Big Red says Gavin has no idea when his boxers are backwards or forwards. Wow. Also, we need to buy a bench press and some dumbbells for Sham Wow. Also, Gavin threatened some squirrels today. What a dick. I'm making some homemade pizzas. Alfonso says the season starts when we get over 500, which, again, seems to be impossible for this team.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Also, you got right here, hey, Ward hit his 100th home run. Cue FanDuel. Yes. So probably won't be enough with Christ. So yeah, we got some more tickets to give away. I'll have a longer show tomorrow because I got to get in there and cook right now in a second. No Locked On postgame show. Gavin's parents grounded him. He didn't take out the trash last night. Well, that makes sense. Again, he comes on there all the time and says, oh, we do it every night. We get on here every day. Sure you do, dick. Enjoy your tacos, bro, and hopefully we can celebrate a series win tomorrow. Exactly. Strange says, no, he told for me, no pinches mom his way. Also, Fonzo says, I heard the Halo brothers turned off the TV during the Grand Slam. Jeffrey says, Halo's grandma was not impressed by the dong. Wow. Don't go there. Also, Archangel said Newman and Wade are just a little baby oil away from hitting 300. I got the bat signal going on right now. We're hungry. In a second, almost done here. Alfonso says Newman and Trout need to hook up and go tonight and take care of business. Slam buster time. Demetrio says, Todd, you're going to watch the Manny fight. You know what? I might throw it on, dude. I forgot all about that. So way to remind me right there, because I'll be grilling right now too. Just remember the Diamond Club tickets on the 26th is Rally Chris' birthday. Yes, I know. Grill Master misses that dong. Also, again, check out 714 tickets if you want that 10% off. And again, if you want some free Diamond Club tickets to the game of your choice, I need to know by tomorrow because I need to send off the winner, the information on Monday so you can get your tickets. And then we're going to have some other news again about the baseball game, which has likely been pushed back to the first week of September, which sucks because I wanted to get it in before NFL football, but I don't think that's going to be a possibility. So it looks like the softball game will be close to the damn Ohapi thing. It might be the day before the Ohapi, the Ohapi bowl, charity bowl. So again, and we got some tickets for that too if you want to be a part of that too. So yikes. So with that being said, everybody enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Sorry to cut it short. Usually I like to go longer. That's what she said. But I have to do some barbecuing right now, and we did the deck. That's why my hands are all dirty, so I got to wash up and get all this paint off of my stuff tonight. And it's UFC tonight, Paisa says. I'm thinking boxing, but is it UFC and boxing tonight? So we'll check that out tonight because I have my brother-in-law over here, and he's a huge boxing fan, so I'm pretty sure he's getting the TV fired up for that. So everybody, have a good rest of your evening. Sucks that we lost. I'll play you out with, again, another version of the Buttercup, and we shall see all of you tomorrow, bright and early after the Angels hopefully win the series.
Dear little Buttercup, won't you stay out? When? You and I will settle